In this video, I want to go over some motocross shifting tips to really improve your gear shifting. What's up, Rad family? I'm Dakota Freeman, and welcome to the Rad Adventure Dude channel. When we want to get better at riding motocross, it's going to be very important that we learn how to shift gears properly on our dirt bikes. The first thing I want to go over on our motocross shifting tips is going to be how to shift into the right gear. When we're riding on our dirt bikes, we're constantly going to be shifting up through the gears and down through the gears. And it's going to be so important to our motocross riding that we learn how to ride in the correct gear. When we're riding, we're going to listen to the RPM level of the dirt bike. As the RPM levels increase on the dirt bike, this is signaling to us that we need to shift up into a higher gear. As you shift up into the next gear, you're going to hear the RPMs return to a lower level and then have another entire gear range to go through before it runs out of power again. When listening to this RPM range, we need to understand that there's an arc in our power range on our dirt bikes. When we're increasing the throttle, it's going to increase the RPM level, and at a certain point in our gears, it's going to plateau out and we're going to begin to run out of power. Before it hits this arc in the power, we really want to make sure to go through our shifting and shift up so we never run out of power on our dirt bikes. We want to make sure that we know the arc and the power here, and we shift right before it to make sure that we accelerate in the best way possible. As we're climbing up through the gears, we're going to be getting into longer gear ranges that we can stay in for a longer period of time and get more top speed out of our dirt bikes. This is how we're going to get comfortable with going faster on our dirt bikes, as these higher gears have less aggressive acceleration, but you can spend a lot more time in this gear and accelerate to a higher speed on our dirt bikes. As we want to become faster at racing motocross, it's going to be very important that we learn how to shift up through the gears to get into higher gears to go faster on our dirt bikes and get more top speed. And we're going to need to learn how to shift back down through the gears to get more acceleration out of our dirt bikes. When we start to learn and develop knowing when we need to be in certain gears, it's going to take our dirt bike shifting to the next level. And we're going to naturally begin to know that when we're increasing in speed, we're going to be increasing and going up through the gears. And when we're coming into corners or getting ready to go over a difficult obstacle that we need to slow down and get ready for more acceleration out of the bike, we're going to shift back down in the gears and get in a lower gear to accelerate properly. So now that we know about the gears and what they do, let's go through the proper order of how we're supposed to shift on our dirt bike. We always want to make sure that we let off the throttle when we're shifting. This is going to free up the motor and make it much easier on our dirt bike to shift through our gears. We're also going to pull in our clutch before we use our gear shifter. Having the throttle off and the clutch pulled in is just going to make sure that you don't accidentally miss a gear and put the bike in neutral accidentally. This can happen if you try to shift through your gears without having the throttle off and the clutch pulled in. So make sure you practice using all the controls in the proper order, so this way you don't miss a gear out on the tracks and trails. I know as a motocross racer that sometimes we're in situations that we can't necessarily perform all of these before making our gear shift, and this is okay. As a motocross racer, we're trying to get the most speed and go the fastest on a dirt bike. So sometimes we're not going to be able to pull in our clutch and shift through our gears. And if we did, we might lose precious time while doing that. So if we're in a situation that we can't necessarily use the clutch, make sure that you always just let the throttle off, and this is going to let the motor free up before we shift our gears, making it a lot easier on the dirt bike, even if we can't pull in our clutch. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, make sure you hit that and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future dirt bike riding tips. Now I want to show you how to use your motocross shifting to actually help you slow down the dirt bike and increase your braking. To use the gears to help slow down the dirt bike as you're coming into a corner or getting set up for another sort of obstacle, we're going to want to shift down in our gears, and this is actually going to engage our engine braking on our dirt bikes. So as we're coming into this corner or getting set up for an obstacle, we're going to be on the brakes. Make sure that you're standing up in the attack riding position, as this is going to be the most important way to get into a corner in the fastest way possible. As you're on the brakes, you're now going to be shifting down in the gears, and you're going to hear the RPM level of the dirt bike get really high. As the RPM level is really high, you're going to start to feel the engine brake engage in your motor. And this engine brake is really going to help you increase your braking speed so you can brake much later coming into corners and be able to brake faster on your dirt bike. Shifting down like this is also going to increase your acceleration coming out of the corner, as when you're coming into the corner, you were probably coming down a straightaway and you were in a higher gear. Well, now you've shifted down as you came into the corner, and this is just getting your bike in the proper RPM range, so whenever you're ready to put the throttle back on, you have plenty of acceleration on your dirt bike. So work on this over time and develop skills using your gearing as a brake as well. This is going to be very important as we want to become better motocross racers and really outbrake our competition. As you can tell, our motocross shifting is going to be a big part of this. Shifting down coming into corners, being able to shift up as we get out of corners and are looking for more top speed. And this is really how we go through the gears on our dirt bike to get the most out of our dirt bike possible. So you really need to get comfortable with shifting on your dirt bike. You need to be able to move your foot from the peg to the gear shifter to make your gear shift, and be able to put your foot back in the proper foot position on your peg as well. You need this to be very natural and to where you don't even have to think about it. You want to make sure that you know the proper order of operations using our clutch, and that you don't have to think about this as well. This is going to come with time, and as you practice this, you're going to develop a good sense of when you need to be shifting up in the gears and when you need to be shifting down in the gears. Listening to the RPM level here is going to be very important to signaling to you when you need to make the proper gear shift, and it's really the way the bike tells you if you're in the proper gear. So keep working with this, and soon it's all going to become much easier. Rad family, I'm so proud of you for taking this time and really becoming the best motocross rider you can possibly be. Are you still looking for more dirt bike riding tips? I'm always here. I've made a full dirt bike riding course over on my website that's going to walk you through being a complete beginner and take you to an advanced rider, mastering the tracks and trails. I also give away a free dirt bike guide over on my website. Just sign up for my newsletter and I'll send it straight to you. If this video on motocross shifting tips helped you, make sure you like this video and drop some comments down below and ask me any other questions that you have. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, make sure you hit that and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future dirt bike riding tips. After that, you can watch my next video right here. Stay rad, and I'll see you over there.